It was October 4th, 2005, and 27-year-old Christie Wilson was enjoying a night out at the Thunder Valley Casino in California. Christie was known for her infectious energy, her quick laugh, and her kindness. Her family and friends loved her deeply, describing her as someone who could brighten up any room she walked into. That night she'd gone to the casino to unwind and have a good time, just like countless others had done before. But as the clock ticked past midnight, Christie's evening took a sinister turn, one that would leave her family shattered and the entire community haunted for years. After spending hours at the casino, Christie was captured on security cameras leaving the gaming floor around 1:15 a.m. She was seen walking alongside a man named Mario Garcia, a 53-year-old who'd been gambling near her that night. This would be the last known image of Christie alive. What began as a normal night out would end in one of California's most perplexing disappearances. The footage showed Christie and Garcia heading to the casino's parking lot, but after that, she vanished. Her family grew concerned when she didn't return home, and within hours they reported her missing. The Placer County Sheriff's Office launched an extensive search, and the community came together, hoping for Christie's safe return. But as days passed without any sign of her, worry turned to dread. Investigators soon zeroed in on the last person seen with her, Mario Garcia. Garcia had no prior connection to Christie. He was a stranger she happened to cross paths with that night. But the security footage didn't lie. He was the last person seen with her before she vanished. Detectives questioned Garcia, who claimed that after they left the casino together, they simply went their separate ways. He insisted he had nothing to do with her disappearance. However, as the investigation continued, Garcia's story started to unravel, and it became clear that he wasn't being entirely truthful. Forensic teams analyzed his car and discovered disturbing evidence: strands of Christie's hair in his vehicle, enough to suggest she had been in his car against her will. This single piece of evidence hinted at something far more sinister. Despite the mounting suspicion, Garcia remained uncooperative, offering little information to help locate Christie. Without her body, investigators faced significant challenges in proving what happened that night. But Christie's family refused to give up. Her mother, Debbie Boyd, became an unrelenting force in the search for her daughter. Debbie campaigned tirelessly, determined to bring Christie home and see justice served. She became a familiar face on news broadcasts, speaking about her daughter's warmth, her spirit, and her bright future. The community rallied around Debbie and her family, hoping that together they might somehow find Christie and give her a proper goodbye. Months passed, and the search continued, but still there was no trace of Christie's body. Authorities faced a dilemma. Without a body, proving murder beyond a reasonable doubt would be difficult, and Garcia was sticking to his story, refusing to admit any wrongdoing. In 2006, despite the lack of a body, prosecutors decided to move forward with the case against Mario Garcia. They had compelling evidence: Christie's hair in his vehicle, along with eyewitness accounts that contradicted his version of events. Prosecutors argued that Garcia had forced Christie into his car and murdered her, later disposing of her body in a yet undiscovered location. It was a gamble, a high-stakes attempt to achieve justice for Christie and her family. The trial was emotionally charged, and Christie's family was present every day, hoping for justice and answers. Prosecutors painted Garcia as a predator who had used that night at the casino to find a vulnerable target. They argued that he'd followed Christie to the parking lot, forced her into his car, and ended her life in a violent, premeditated act. The defense, however, claimed there was no solid proof of murder. Without a body, they argued, there was no definitive way to prove Christie's fate. They tried to cast doubt on the prosecution's case, suggesting that Christie might have chosen to disappear, or that she could have met another fate unrelated to Garcia. It was a tough case, with powerful emotions on both sides. After weeks of grueling testimony and emotional appeals, the jury returned a verdict: Mario Garcia was found guilty of first-degree murder in Christie Wilson's death. It was a hard-fought victory for Christie's family, but their relief was tempered by the lingering tragedy. Even with Garcia convicted, Christie's body remained missing, and her family's grief was compounded by the lack of closure. Debbie Boyd, her mother, vowed to keep searching, refusing to let her daughter's memory be buried alongside unanswered questions. She visited Garcia in prison, hoping he might reveal where he'd hidden her daughter's remains, but he stayed silent, refusing to offer any information that could ease the family's suffering. For years, Debbie Boyd became the heart of the campaign for justice, tirelessly advocating for missing persons and working to keep her daughter's memory alive. She channeled her grief into purpose, raising awareness about unsolved cases and the torment faced by families who, like her, lived with the pain of not knowing. Through her efforts, she touched countless lives, helping to bring attention to the heartbreak and resilience of those searching for loved ones. Yet despite the support and love surrounding her, the pain of Christie's absence weighed heavily on her family, an unresolved ache carried every day. Then, after over a decade of relentless searching, a miracle happened. In 2020, 15 years after Christie disappeared, a search team returned to a property linked to Garcia. Advances in technology allowed for a more thorough examination, and there, hidden in the brush, they found human remains. DNA testing confirmed what they'd hoped and feared: it was Christie Wilson. The discovery was bittersweet. It brought her family a measure of closure, yet it also reopened the wounds they'd carried for years. For Debbie Boyd, finding Christie was a heartbreaking relief, the end of a search that had consumed her life. The discovery of Christie's remains marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Debbie continued to advocate for missing persons, using her story to inspire others never to give up hope. She became a beacon of resilience, demonstrating the power of a mother's love and the unbreakable bond between a parent and child. Through her, Christie's legacy lives on, not as a victim, but as a symbol of the pursuit of justice. The case of Christie Wilson is a haunting reminder of the dangers lurking in unexpected places. A simple night out ended in tragedy, and a family's life was forever altered. Her story is a testament to the resilience of those left behind, the unbreakable strength of a mother's love, and the determination to find truth and justice, no matter how long it takes. It's also a sobering reminder of the importance of remaining vigilant, of understanding that life can change in an instant, and of holding loved ones close. In the end, Christie Wilson's story is about more than just a tragic loss. It's about hope, persistence, and a family's unwavering dedication to honoring a life taken too soon. Her mother, Debbie, refused to let her daughter's memory fade, fighting day in and day out to bring Christie home. Through that fight, she reminded the world that justice doesn't always come easily, but it's worth every ounce of effort. For those left searching for answers, Christie's story serves as a beacon, a reminder to never give up, to never lose hope, and to always seek the truth. If you found Christie Wilson's story compelling, subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Together we can shed light on cases like hers, ensuring that their memories live on and that justice is always pursued, no matter how long it takes. Don't let another story go untold. Hit subscribe and join us in this journey to keep the memories of these lost souls alive.